Hi there and welcome to FCA Heart Matters. It's good to have you joining with me here today. One of the questions the disciples asked, in fact, the central question they asked has always intrigued me. Lord, teach us to pray. They had listened to Jesus teach with authority. They had watched him do demonstrations of power that mesmerized the general population. And they never asked for instruction in those things, but they did ask Jesus to teach them and help them with their prayer life. It seemed that they understood that Jesus' life and ministry was rooted in his relationship to the Father, and the way that was accessed was the way in which Jesus communicated with his Father. I think there could be something there for us in terms of spiritual formation. I'm grateful for prayers that are given to us in the scriptures as a template. We have the Apostle Paul's prayers, and we have, of course, Jesus teaching the disciples in response to their question. And in the Old Testament, David's authenticity before God in his laments and his praises and his worship. Over the years, I've picked up booklets that have helped me in my prayer life. This one, Before the Altar. This one, Prayers from Thomas à Kempis, The Imitation of Christ. Or this one, Joseph Parker spent more time on his prayers than he did on his sermon. Book is called Book of Uncommon Prayer. But recently I came across a book entitled The Valley of Vision. It's the prayers of the Puritans. Why is this important? Because I need help to get out of vanity and vain repetition and platitudes. Lots of speaking, but not real reaching into the heavenlies with what my heart, my soul, my spirit wants to say. So these prayers help express what I'm feeling, but they also teach me a kind of vocabulary to go deep and to develop a prayer life that moves the heart of God because it's coming from my heart of desperation. Listen to this prayer prayed by one of the Puritans. "O Lord," he says, "I am a shell full of dust. I am deeply convinced of the evil and misery of a sinful state, of the vanity of my heart. Oh, but I'm grateful for the sufficiency of Christ. When you would guide me, I control myself. When you would be sovereign, I rule myself. When you would take care of me, I try to satisfy myself. When I should depend on your provisions, I try to supply myself. When I should submit to your providence, I try to follow my own will. And when I should study, love, honor, and trust, I serve myself. I fault and correct your laws to suit myself. And instead of looking to you, I look for man's applause. By nature, I'm an idolater. Lord, it is my chief design to bring my heart back to you. Convince me that I cannot be my own God, nor can I make myself happy. You alone can restore to me the joy of my salvation. Lord, take me to your cross and leave me there." After we've been moved by such a prayer, maybe we can ask God to help us in our life of prayer, to begin to be thoughtful as we approach God in prayer. Remember Ecclesiastes, don't be hasty to bring up a matter before the Lord. He is in heaven, you're on the earth, he already knows. But we should weigh our words, think about what we're saying, and seek to develop a prayer life that truly begins to interact at deep levels of intimacy with the God whose presence we long for. Remember, we may not be able to be in charge of the length of our life or even the breadth of our ministry, but we are responsible for the depth of our life, and that begins with the life of prayer. Thanks for joining me for Heart Matters, because remember, your heart matters.